Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half of the podcast, Mel.
And I'm the other half, Sam.
Hey guys, what's up? Another episode. Back together. I just came back from 3 days of being at Disneyland. The party must go on, I gotta say.
That's admirable. 3 days at Disneyland. In the rain.
In a storm.
The tornadoes.
Not even just rain, but a storm. You should have seen the fucking palm trees, dude. Being soaking wet every single day was not a vibe. But, you know, we made it through. I'm really, surprised at, my positivity. I don't know if it's because we were at Disneyland or what, but,
something was in the air.
Yeah. I mean, day 2, and I was really excited for California Adventure, but day 2 was California Adventure. And that was, the worst day. Weather-wise. Mm-hmm. And by 6 p.m., I was like, I need to go to the hotel. I'm wet.
You were feeling a little more miserable that day.
Yeah. So then we went, changed.
Oh, that was the day.
And then it was adult time. And we all got kind of drunk at
so
California
funny.
Adventure.
She's texting me.
I was trying to listen to, some things that Sam sent me. And I was like, honestly...
You were I'm drunk. I've never been this drunk at Disneyland.
Literally never.
Did you guys just buy drinks? Or did you have drinks in the hotel?
No.
You guys should have done that.
Yeah,
Sillies.
we should have. I don't know why we did
I mean, the drinks at Disneyland are special, so.
Yeah.
If you got special drinks anyway.
I got a margarita.
Okay.
And then I shared, me and Logan's sister, Nicole, we shared, the Dole Whip with tequila or margarita mix.
Oh.
And then I got a Paloma. And I drank more of the Paloma than I did the ice cream. So.
That was it, though. 3 drinks.
Yeah, but I was strong.
I mean, they are strong.
Yeah.
They don't cheap out. I'll give them that.
And then yesterday, I had 2 drinks at Olga's. And I feel like they weren't strong.
They're,
they're,
cute.
Fucking $20. $22 to be exact. With, tip and everything.
They're just cute, I
And
guess.
our waitress was a bitch. Anyway.
No.
I don't understand. I literally, you're working at the happiest place on earth. Why are you working here?
Is it
being
a
miserable?
Star Wars thing?
See, that's what I thought.
She's in character.
But then everybody else at the bar, the bartenders were
nice.
really nice. They were smiling and laughing. And I was like, why did we get her? She literally looked at us and was like,
I hate this group.
And Nicole was like, oh, because they keep bringing you checks every time you order a new drink, to renew the check.
Oh,
but she seemed annoyed to do it.
You said, girl, I didn't ask you to do that.
Right. And so we're Nicole was like, hey, if I, quick question, if I wanted to order another drink, does that mean, that you have to, bring me another check? Because she's like, I just feel bad, having to do that. And she's like, okay.
Oh.
And we were like, oh, we wanted to see if we could order a couple more drinks. So then she said, so then do you want another round?
Oh, my God.
And we were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll have 2 of the same, but just 2 because Logan had ordered one before. And she's like, okay, I'll be back with a new check. Literally verbatim with an attitude.
I just asked if we could avoid the attitude, essentially.
Literally.
But, in a nice way.
In a nice way.
You said, I can tell it's irritating you. Can we do something different? And she was like,
Literally, I was like, okay. And then I was salty and a little bit buzzed, so I tipped her not very well because I was upset.
Well, she was being rude. She deserved a lesser tip.
Yeah.
People aren't entitled to
but it's funny because
a good tip.
She saw the previous tip and it dwindled
down. It went down.
I said, girl, you did this to yourself. You know?
So you could have been racking, but instead...
You could have been nice. You can be like, yeah, of course. There was a child with us.
Not even that. Just being nice. Just smiling every once in a while.
Just a little bit.
Here you go.
But anyway, she was having a bad day or something.
Shit.
Anyway, I had a good time though.
Other than the
Olga storm and Olga.
Oh, God. Well, that's good. I miss Disneyland. It's been literally since 2 years ago. 2 birthdays ago.
Yeah.
It's a long time. They've added stuff. Things have changed. Toontown's different now.
Oh, yeah, I did go.
I saw it on the news and I was like, oh, they're going.
It's really, really cute. They have a new ride in Toontown.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've been on the Star Wars one, the new one.
The one I hated?
No, not the button pushing one.
If we didn't go on it that time, then no.
So there's another one that's the car is in a magnet type of
force field situation?
Force field where it moves kind of swiftly. It's similar to that, but it's about Mickey and Minnie wanting to go on a picnic and they get into trouble.
Cute.
And it's really cute. And there's this tornado part. Anyway, Toontown's really
Very
cute
cute.
now. They've added like Mickey and Minnie's house, which are really, really cool.
Yeah, it's been lacking for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, Toontown? Who the fuck goes to Toontown anymore? I would like Roger Rabbit ride,
And
that's
then
it.
let's head out.
dip.
Literally. But Toontown, I think, is like iconic for
Yeah.
like the children. I feel like it's like the first memories everyone has of Disneyland. Mm-hmm. Anyway, fun time.
Completely not on topic whatsoever.
I mean, kind of about dreams.
Yes.
A dream is a wish your heart makes. That's
Is
what I
Cinderella?
learned.
Or is it just Disney in
I
general?
think that's just Disney or Mickey.
A dream. I don't know.
I will say I cry every time, just like, or like I hold back tears
At Disneyland?
At Disneyland, like watching the parades. I really feel the magic.
You feel the magic?
Yeah.
That's cute. I
looked over and Brittany's the same way. So I looked over. She's like literally just sobbing. I was like, girl.
My God. You said, girl, hold back a little
I
bit.
was holding
Let the
back on
kids
like
cry.
Moana. I was like, Fantasmic gets me. World of Color, I will cry for sure.
You know, I feel like I've only seen World of Color a couple times.
It's back and it's
Yeah, they
back
did
and
get rid
better.
of it for a while.
yeah. We didn't get to watch it. We didn't really watch any of the shows because the kids were tired, but
Yeah, kids make it a whole nother experience.
so crazy. They get tired really fast. And I'm
Yeah.
like, let's push through. Also, like, they got scared. This is like a little recap, I guess. Like, the kids, one of them, the younger one, was really scared of rides. And
Fair
then
enough.
the older one, he was actually like really brave and like excited to go on like the big rides at first. And then we made the mistake of going on Splash Mountain.
He didn't want to be wet or just too
It's
scary?
Too scary and wet. And so after every time we went on a different ride, he'd be like, this one you don't get wet, right? Or like, this one doesn't have a drop, right? He like was asking all the right questions.
You were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been on this one in a while.
Dude, and then yesterday we went on like the Star Wars ride, the new one, and
Yeah.
I was like so excited for him to see it because it's a really fun ride. And I was like, it's tame enough. Like, it's a little bit spooky, but it's tame enough. And we were on the ride. He was like kind of nervous asking these questions, right? And we were like, no, you're gonna be fine. It's not that fast, blah blah blah. And then we go up on an elevator part, and I was like, okay, I wonder. I was like in my head, I was like,
Is
I
it
don't-
drop?
I don't think it drops. Like I don't remember a drop. I don't think that happens. And then we
Dude.
get to a part. And Brittany, Logan's other sister, looks at me. She goes, it doesn't drop, right? And I was like, so certain of myself. I was like, no, of course not.
Dude,
and then after
why
I
would
said
you do
that,
that?
it just went shoo, and
You were
like
questioning
fell down.
it.
Because I was so like, no, it's not. Like, this is a kid ride.
Was he mortified? Or he's fine?
No, he was just a bit like scared. He was just like, that made my tummy hurt a little bit. And we're like, you're gonna be okay. And then it turns into like a simulation type vibe for like a quick second. But he went on it twice, so I think he's fine.
He just
He liked
needed,
it enough.
He just wanted to know.
He just wanted to know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
On to
Fear. But fear and dreams. Okay, look at they're both there.
on to your fears and dreams and the wishes your heart make.
Yep.
Listen, I think there's been a lot of like doubt and fear going on, at least in my life lately.
I think it's just like the 20s.
the 20s are hard.
Because I be watching like Vanderpump Rules. You know, a slight touch on Raquel. We're not gonna get into it, but before all this happened, all the drama. If you guys know about the drama, then you know. But before all the drama came out, it was really sad. She's like 20, 25 years old, same age as us, and I mean it's really bad though. Like she was on a date and she just starts crying, and I was like,
Babe, not the time.
maybe think about your fears another time. Like, whoa.
What was she
Well,
even, like, talking about?
I forget what he had asked her, but you know, she just like had a failed engagement.
At 25?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So that happened, and then she apparently performed in her last pageant ever, and she did not do well, I guess. She was like in
She's
the top.
a pageant queen? I
She
don't
was
know
in-
anything about
yeah,
that.
Yeah. She's in pageants, or was.
Wow.
And so it was her last pageant. It's like all she's known her whole life, and she just feels like she doesn't know what she's gonna do with her life. And me on the outside looking, I was like, babe, you're on a TV show. Like, you're gonna figure it out. You're fine.
You're completely okay.
I mean, little did I know what was about to come out, but
Well, should have been doing those things.
she shouldn't have been doing those things. But she's still gonna be fine. I don't know what she's gonna do to
People
be
are
fine.
still talking, girl. It's fine. Bad publicity is publicity.
You
know?
and Tom forever.
I don't know about that one.
Did you see the trailer that came out?
No.
Oh my god. It's like, okay, this is not the point.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Tangent after tangent.
Yeah, I feel like it's so easy to look at like our friends or just like peers and be like, oh my god, you have it all figured out, or you're gonna be fine, or at least you have this, or at least you have that. Like, you know, it's always this, the grass is always greener, or like,
yeah,
you just have these ideas of other people. But then if you really like sit down and get to know other people's problems or fears and doubts and what they want to accomplish in their life, you're like, oh fuck, you're like nowhere near what you want to accomplish, which makes sense. We're literally in our 20s. We're not going to have everything figured out. Like, this is the time where we're supposed to figure things out.
I don't know that it makes me feel better or worse when I hear like that we're all in the same boat. I'm like, oh, so none of us have it figured out. Like, oh, for real?
You said for real?
Like, you can't even help me, huh?
So you know nothing as well? Got it.
Yeah. I think it's just difficult being in this age group because we're like, it's just interesting to have like a decade where you're literally going from like knowing nothing and
thinking you know
everything and then realizing you know nothing.
Yeah.
And then still trying to figure out. Meanwhile, people are slowly changing the way that they see you and the way that they treat you because you're growing into an adult and you're like, holy fuck, like I know nothing, but yet I'm expected to be all these things. And then like, you know, the self-doubt hits a little harder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think back when like in high school I really was thinking I was kind of like, I was still like doubtful of a lot of things and whatever, but I was kind of like on top of the world, thinking I could do anything.
It was
like literally thought I could be like president someday.
I mean, right?
Maybe
like ASB really got in our heads.
Literally, I said, I'm a leader, babes.
Said we're the leaders of this school. I could be the leader of this nation. I knew I didn't want to do that, but I did feel like, I don't know, if there was like this sense of having it all together and always like making people proud in high school because because high school was so easy for me.
So easy.
So I was like, period. I'm never going to worry about making anyone feel disappointed in me.
And look at us now.
We are not big disappointments. Okay, so listen.
I'm just kidding.
This past weekend, I was briefly telling Mel about this. My mom and I were together and she said, I don't remember what she was talking about. She's talking about somebody, probably Raquel from Vanderpump. And I was like, man, and I thought I was a failure, you know, just in passing saying shit.
Just a quirky little thing to say.
And she like got really sad really fast, and she was like, you think you're a failure? And I was like, oh no.
You're like, it wasn't that deep, but it is that deep.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready for it.
It was suddenly super deep, and I was like, oh, I mean. And, you know, she was very sweet and reassuring and was motherly, and I was just like, I just feel like I don't have it all figured out, and like I didn't like get into the, you know,
the whys and whatnot,
into everything, because, you know, I just would have probably, I was on my period, it just would have ended explosively of emotions. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like going back to the high school thing, I feel like I never experienced feeling like my parents had to worry about me. Not that I think they're worried about me right now, because I don't think they are.
But you put like kind of that pressure on
yourself. I put that pressure on myself, that like the should, could, would, like that all exists. And, you know, my mom's just like, stop comparing yourself to your siblings and like your peers. Like, it's so unnecessary because you're doing it how you want to do. You guys are completely different people. She's like, each of you might not understand each other, but that's okay. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not like worried about what other people think. I feel like
about me though.
I'm like, but me. And it just turned into this whole conversation. And like, I want to move out. And she's like, there's like zero pressure for you to move out, which is such a blessing. Like, I know a lot of people don't have that like luxury. So I'm very grateful that I have it. But I'm also like, I want to move out for me.
Yeah.
But then I was also like, maybe that is like a lot of society pressure, because like even if I had the money to move out, like I mean, like I could move out, would I be putting myself in danger to potentially have to come back home? Maybe. So that's why I don't feel comfortable moving out.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there's this pressure to move out at this age, or like having had move out, which like in reality when I think about it, I gotta say it's like 50-50 of people I know in our age group that live at home versus don't live at home. So I'm like, it really just is It's a flip of the coin.
And I don't fucking blame anybody. Like, I don't really see it as a negative thing. If anything, I'm like, you're kind of like really fucking lucky that you get to be rent free.
You're just kind of like mad dogging them, like,
literally
interesting.
Like, if I didn't have Logan and we didn't have an apartment together, I don't think that I would be moved out. I mean, maybe with like friends at this point, but probably not. Like, I think I would kind of be in the same boat of like just kind of staying still until I know that like I have something
stability,
stable. Yeah. So it's just, I think we're all kind of in that same boat, like trying to figure out our careers and our lives. And I don't know, we're also just in a very different place than maybe like our older siblings were, where like careers are different and like life is different.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of unknowns and overall just a lot of options, and I think everyone's just trying to figure it out.
And like on the other side of living at home, I also like, as the baby of the family, I also feel like really lucky that I get to be with my parents so much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I really could just like, because I think about if I moved out, I probably would not see my parents or talk to my parents nearly as much as I do. And they wouldn't know nearly as much about me. And I know so much about my parents, like their day to day, like how they're feeling sick or whatever. So like I'm the touch base out of the siblings. Like, is mom better or whatever? So I don't know. I just try to remind myself of like the positives of a situation, even though I'm like, my dream, my goal is to not be here. While I'm working on that, I'm gonna appreciate that I'm not where I want to be.
And that's definitely, I think, like, obviously just like always leaning into your gratitude with that kind of stuff is gonna be the most helpful, but also just puts you in a place where you're like available to change in a positive way versus just like trying to force something.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've kind of talked about that too, where like I definitely don't see my parents as much anymore, and it's tough. And so I think that's something that you definitely, like, the fact that you recognize it, because I feel like when you're living with your parents,
you're just annoyed.
A lot of the times you're like annoyed and you just like don't want to be around. And I feel like I definitely at the time didn't take it into like my gratitude. Like, I wasn't grateful for it as much as I should have been. Not to say that was like a fucking nightmare.
No, but you were also straight out of college. Like,
yeah,
literally.
I was just ready to leave, but I didn't realize like what I was gonna be leaving behind. Like, it's just crazy to think that I'll never be living in that same house in the same way ever again. And that's weird.
Yeah.
And I think also when you start to think about like, at one point, like, you and all your siblings like lived together, it's so weird. It's such a weird thing. And now you guys will never do that again. And
no, you're
really
about to
sad.
cry.
It's really sad.
Oh my god, I'm giving this speech at the wedding next week, and I'm like, I'm literally gonna read it because I can't. I just
it's just straight to the face.
I'm gonna be just. Hi, thank you so much for coming. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, it's like really, I don't know. And like on Love Island, all random, I feel like their last season, UK, Luca and what's her face, Gemma. They're very like, very family oriented. And she was only like 19, and she's like, I still live at home. I was like,
girl, you should live at home.
I was like, did you just, yeah, you're 19. Of course you do. And like a lot of the people this season are like our age, 25, 26, and they still live at home. And they're still doing their thing. And then it just really made me think about family. And I was like, that's actually kind of really nice. Like, obviously, I don't know. You just think about like, I'll forever not live home once I don't live at home.
I mean, there's obviously an off chance, but for the most part, it's, again, not the same way.
Yeah.
Because even when you leave and come back,
it's your place when you don't leave, and then you come back and you're kind of like tiptoe.
Yeah.
Like, this is your space.
So it's never the same. So enjoy it while you have it, if you have it currently.
I feel like also moving out is so scary. Like, in terms of like, you really, that's you, babe.
You're on your own, babe.
That's you. My mom's friend, her daughter, just got a new job that she like loves or whatever, but she just got put on like a performance review, which like, it's not even her fault. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but she got a performance review, but she just moved into an apartment by herself in Santa Monica. So she's fucking terrified if she loses this job. I'm like, that is like, it's really just you, babe. Like, you don't have roommates, you don't have a partner to help you, your parents gonzo. I was like, see, I ain't doing that. I'm
You
doing
gotta figure it out, like, fast. I mean,
Yeah.
that's adulthood. I mean,
yeah. It do be real.
it do be real, dude. It do be real.
Anyways.
I mean, I just think about, like, this, not necessarily a fear, but, like, it moving out just by yourself. I mean, I have a partner, but, like, even just living in your own space and having to deal with your own problems. Like, I just think back to literally my fucking washing machine breaking in my apartment. Well, not mine, but
The place's
washing machine. And the entire apartment flooding, and I was literally soaking wet and slipping
nuts.
everywhere.
That was
And
nuts.
I just, like, I literally called my dad because I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's, like, what else am I supposed to do? I still feel like a fucking child who doesn't know what to do with anything. That's
big ass fear.
Big ass fear, dude.
Without a parent, like, actually.
What do I do? Like, what do I do? Am I
think I think about that all the time. I think about car accidents and I'm like calling my dad immediately.
Literally.
Calling dad immediately. Nothing else. Well, but that's the thing. I guess on the flip side of the, like, it's you, babe, you're on your own. You're not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Because they're still there. If you're fortunate enough. That sounded bad. No,
it's
if you're
true.
lucky, like,
If you have your parents
you're
around.
lucky, dude.
Yes.
But, like, I still, like, the other day I called my mom because I got antibiotics, and I was like, am I allergic to these? I don't even know that about myself. Like, why?
I don't know what blood type I am.
I don't know my blood type. Like, why am I living alone? Why am I not living with you?
Why do
Why
you
did
not
you-
take care of me still? All I know is to cook.
Dude.
And clean, I guess, you know.
I had, like, the wildest, I mean, obviously, not just fucking Disneyland, but the wildest, like, last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I had COVID, then my dog got really
Why
sick.
are you going to the doctor today?
Good question. I have a really weird rash on my armpit that's been there for a while.
Dude, what?
And,
How long a while?
it's been off and on for, like, 2 years now. But, like, it's been now constant for, like, 3 months. And I hate, like, giving myself, like, a breast exam. This is gonna get really, like, TMI.
Yeah, okay, this is not
I don't
the
care.
topic per se, but...
And sometimes, like, I'll feel something and I just get freaked out and, like, I won't touch it. So I want to get checked out.
It's like dry skin.
But it's not. Like, I've put so many things on
You
it.
feel things in it?
Not on my armpit. On my boob. But, like, I had got... Don't look shit up. Because...
Don't Google things.
Don't Google things. I Googled it. And it could be just, like, a rash.
Period.
Or eczema.
Period.
Or it could be cancer. Like, breast cancer related
That's
to breast
always-
cancer. But before the rash, I had, like, something on my boob. And that
It's
scared
not there
me.
anymore, though?
I haven't felt it.
I'm
I'm telling you, I'm scared to.
You
touch
haven't
myself
felt it because you haven't touched it, or because you don't feel it anymore?
because I won't touch it
Got it.
because I'm scared.
Okay. Doctor.
So I need a doctor.
Figure it
Anyway, clearly I'm still baby.
Oh, that's scary. It's fucking. Dude,
So that's why I'm going to the doctor.
I guarantee our parents went through all of this, and they still, at the ripe age of 60, my dad, don't worry, Mom, I'm not looping you into that, are like, sometimes probably, I don't know, my dad probably wouldn't say that, but like, maybe sometimes they're like, I kind of wish I had my, like, mom or dad to figure this out right now.
I'm sure, dude.
I mean, I can't really think of my dad thinking that, but...
Like,
Or my mom. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it does
you
go away
serious?
eventually.
yeah?
I mean,
don't
like,
know.
like, mom and dad, of course, but like washer and dryer broke what?
Okay, no,
You
not
know what I
that.
mean?
Not that. What I was getting to with my whole fucking process of
Yes.
having awful 3 weeks is that I was so mentally, like, and emotionally exhausted and sad and just, like, overwhelmed. I literally would cry for, like, every night for, like, 3 days. Right before Disneyland. Because I was
Girl.
feeling stressed. And all I wanted is just, like, my mom to fix everything. Like, just please take it all on. Because I can't deal with it. And it's like, I wonder how she feels when, like...
Something goes wrong.
I literally told her, I was like, when I was dropping off Harley, my dog, I was like, I probably, like, 2% of, like, the scared feelings about, like, not necessarily, like, losing a child, but, like, our child being sick or whatever. I can't imagine, like, my mom doing it with 3 kids. And, like, me and my other brother were always fucking off and on sick. Like, and she was working and, like, having to deal with everything. I was like, holy shit, like, I can't
Having kids
even
is, like,
imagine
for
it.
real.
It's for real. It's really scary.
Big fear. Having children.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, a dream and a fear. You know what I mean?
A nightmare and a dream. Who knows?
A nightmare or a dream or both. It's probably both.
But, like, I was like, I don't understand how you, like, legit did it, because I have had the worst 3 weeks of my life.
Your support system, man. That's how you
That's
get through anything.
Get through it, dude. It takes a village, as they say. But
anyways,
we're getting on so many tangents.
The point of this was really just like, I feel like we have so many fears, and like that limits you from finally reaching what your dream is.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. And I feel like, girl, don't look at us for advice, but
absolutely,
we just wanted to share our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
All right, so I found this tweet the other day. Thought it was cute. It says photographer PSA with a heart. And then it's just this big old paragraph. It says, I used to be the photographer who was always worried that I wasn't enough. First, my work wasn't good enough. After I began to improve and jobs started coming in, I wasn't successful enough. Instead of living in the gratitude of these experiences, I then worried I wasn't commercial enough and wasn't going to ever land advertising work or campaigns. Once I started shooting these projects, I feared that I wasn't creative or editorial enough. From here, I started to feel like I didn't have a cool factor and wasn't in the running for projects that my peer photographers were working on. Looking back over the years, so much time was wasted on unnecessary doubt. I still battle with variations of all of this on a daily basis. I blame a lot of this on imposter syndrome and the overwhelming aspects of social media. No matter what you achieve, if your outlook isn't right, there will always be that thing. It's crazy to think about over a decade of energy being directed towards fears and doubts, forever working on enjoying the moment, appreciating the little things, and the realization that what is meant for you will come. I feel like that social media aspect is also so massive.
I was gonna say, when we began talking about this, I was like, that bitch is gonna keep coming up. I know we talk about her in every like episode, but it's just so prevalent to fucking everything. Mm-hmm. And I mean, sometimes I feel so silly blaming social media for a lot of our problems, but it really is. It's just a lot of...
I mean, a lot of people in the generation above us say social media is going to destroy us, so I don't think it's silly to blame.
Yeah. I just can see how detrimental it's causing us to, like, just the way that we all move is just so different now. Mm-hmm. And I can't... it's fucked up because I can't imagine life without it. And so I feel like also a lot of my dreams surround, like, not necessarily social media, but like
using it as a tool.
Yeah, in some form. And that's so fucked. Like, I get so messed up by it.
I feel like it's because we're part of like the millennial generation where it's like, yeah, fuck social media and what it does to like the younger generation's brains. Like, our brains were developed just enough when social media came out that we don't have this, like, I mean, there's still people in our generation that we have this perception of like wanting to be famous on social media, or like, I don't know, because a lot of people in our generation came at just the right time to like pop off and then become famous and become influencers and whatever. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it has nothing to do with generation, and it's just us as people that we like genuinely just see social media as like a tool, and we're really intrigued by it and like the psyche behind marketing and social media together, but not necessarily the like sales part of social media and being like,
yeah,
like, I'm cool with like messaging and branding and like when shit's dope and you feel inspired by something. I think that's cool when a brand does that, but I don't like when social media is just like putting it out like,
yeah,
we're here like, ugh.
Like it literally feels like one of those like pop-up like virus messages. Like, it's so overwhelming.
So yeah, I don't know, social media really did do some things to our brain for comparison. It's just so much easier. Instead of keeping up with the Joneses, we're keeping up with the fucking whole ass world.
The whole ass world, for real. I also, something that was really interesting about what you just read was the whole, it's like a decade spent on energy that basically like
was useless. I
feel like I see that pattern. I'm assuming it really happens to all of us, but I really do see that pattern within my life. When I think back on all of the things that have happened, I always feel like it wasn't enough. And then I'm like, but that at one point was everything. Like your dream. It was like a goal that you had, and whether or not you fulfilled it in the way that you expected it to, like you still did it at some capacity, and you should, like, past you would have probably been really like proud of you, but you're like thinking so like now far in advance that this doesn't seem like enough.
Yeah, like instead of appreciating that moment, you're always worried about the next thing.
Yeah, and
that you're supposed to
that
achieve.
makes the thing that you just accomplished lessened
Mm-hmm.
by like the gravity of what you are expecting for the future. You know?
I feel like his example, the tweet I read,
Photography.
the photography example, I feel like it can relate to any aspect of anyone's life. It's always like you reach that one thing that you wanted to do, and then it's like, okay, well, everyone else is doing something bigger, so I need to be bigger.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude.
What did Shay Mitchell had just put something on Instagram that I reposted? It was long. I don't remember what it said, but it was basically like, why do we all need to be like these big, massive, successful people? Like, why can't I just be happy with my life and live how I want and fucking do whatever I want?
I'm also like, girl, you were a successful
Literally, I was
person
looking
on
at
the show, and you have like two incredible brands. Like,
and
I don't want to hear it from you. And a baby,
and a house in LA. Like,
girl, of course you can say that.
It's like quiet. But it's all about perspective.
It is, but I'm also like,
you said you had a pop up at the Grove last summer, and I
went, and I got a free cocktail
and a koozie.
So I mean, it's all about perspective, and I think I tried to remind myself, like, yeah, you can have the same feeling that person's having who has it all or whatever, but I'm like, but still, they have it all.
But one day you might have it all, quote unquote, and still be like, I want more myself.
But I also think currently, like, maybe somebody thinks that I have it all by like whatever my life is, which is like, I live in my own apartment, I have a partner, I have a dog, I have like a job, I have a podcast, like those things that maybe are to someone else like the things that they want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then maybe, like, can I be grateful? Like, I should be
maybe
grateful.
I can be a little bit okay with that.
Maybe I can be okay with it.
It's also like the aspect of like, for us specifically, maybe a lot of people, but us specifically, feeling like our purpose isn't being fulfilled. I feel like that's probably a lot of people our age, but like in a way where it's like money is the anthem of success.
Money is the anthem.
But like, you know, it feels like we're less valuable of people because we're not doing what we want. Like, we feel like we have all these skills and all these things that we could give to someone or ourselves, and it's not working out the way we want it to. But like, someone else might feel like, I don't have any of the skills, I want to develop the skills, I want to, like, you know, so it's like there's always something that you could want more, and that's like the fear and doubt of not being able to get to the next thing. But it's like practicing gratitude and acknowledging the fears, I think, is what helps you
pass through them.
Yeah actually achieve your dreams.
I think also something that maybe fucks us all up is like, again, like, social media has like all these how-tos on how to get successful and rich.
Stress me out.
And then you attempt to maybe accomplish the same steps with not the same outcome, and you're like, then I'm the problem. It's me.
I'm the problem.
So yeah, I mean, that's just all fucked up.
That just made me think about like 12 trending audios, and I'm like,
oh my god, like, just, yeah. Something that fucking like blew my mind was somebody said that we all obtain like 4 terabytes of information a day.
That's
or something
mortifying. My hard drive is like 1 terabyte.
Could you imagine? But like, our entire day, like, seeing all of the things, and now even more with social media, like, it's just a constant, there's like terabytes of information in our brain,
and it's not even like necessarily important. Yeah, it's like, she's wearing a headband today, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like, that girl had a new lip gloss on social media, she has a nice car,
I want that.
Like, dumb shit. And I'm just like, I'm obtaining all of this information for what, you know? Anyway.
And then you're like, I'm stupid, I should do something with it.
Yeah, and then
you're
overwhelmed.
Like, and then you're like, I'm going to bed.
Literally.
I'm gonna read a book.
And then you feel like a failure. I was listening to this podcast. I know we're talking about like my spiritual center, church, whatever you want to call it, a lot. But the founder made a podcast. I'm like, everyone's doing podcasts now, but like, it's great. If you want to listen to it. So the podcast is called Take Back Your Mind, and he's like all about like meditation and just how to create gratitude and positive thinking to like benefit you. Not necessarily like, he believes obviously in manifestation and shit like that, but it's more of like just changing the way that your brain works so that you like live a better life.
Okay.
But anyway, he had this ex-athlete who like created like a whole foundation on he basically like coaches you on how to like do the same thing, like change your mind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about how they have each had moments where they kind of like hear either like a future or a past them speaking to them, if that makes sense. So his example was he had gotten to a point in his career, I don't remember what the accolade was, but he getting awarded for something. Mm-hmm. And his wife told him to come up to like the roof of the building. She basically told him to say like, go Lewis, like at the top of his lungs. And he said that he had heard that in the past.
I don't like that.
So like,
I mean, I do, but
at a low point in his life when he like wanted to give up, something in his brain kind of just like heard the message from the future.
Girl, how does
and we
that...
just like, and like he recognized that, not in the moment, but like walking away from that moment, he was like, oh my God, I was speaking to myself. Like I was genuinely rooting on me.
So
and like
weird.
Maybe even in that moment, like he like heard his future self tell him like,
that was you, babe.
That was you, babe. You know what I mean? It's just so cool to like think that I mean, obviously time is just like a whole fucking thing, but like to realize that we are kind of like helping our future and past selves at any moment is like really cool. I don't know.
So crazy.
But I thought that was really endearing and made me want to cry. It was so special.
Like, just want to go scream from our roof. Go Sam.
Go Sam.
He's like sports though, so it's like kind of goes, you know?
Well, he had like a huge injury, I think, and he couldn't play anymore. So that's why he like went into learning like how to change his brain. He also had like a really hard time growing up with like a learning disability, kind of, where he like couldn't keep up, and sports was like his way of like being successful and achieving things. And after he didn't have that anymore, he was like, I need to be a student again and like learn how to better my life.
Nuts.
Yeah,
sounds like a good episode.
I don't know if this is making me feel better or worse, but I mean, to get into like the things that we've failed at, no, not failed, but like all of the things that we've attempted, just so that you feel like less alone and like you are not anywhere near behind.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're not feeling in front, but if you are, you know what, go off.
I feel send some of that energy this way.
I am so proud of you, like actually, because
so
if you feel any more put together than we do, I commend you, dude. I'm so proud of you. That's insane. But anyway, to the things we've attempted
in our whole lives.
Good way.
I'm like the talent show. Anyone? I've done a couple of those. No. One thing recently that I don't know if I really like attempted all that hard, but hand modeling, which I spoke on a little bit on the podcast.
Yeah, what's the update?
You know, here's the update. So this shit was in Beverly fucking Hills, and I went to two meetings, I think. It was like the initial situation, and then they had me come back, and they were like, yeah, you're for sure, like, we want you on our team, blah, blah, blah. But then they were like, oh, you need to pay us like $800 for digitals. And I was like, we already took digitals. Can we just start with those? And they were like, no.
You're like, great.
And
so
like,
I'm not paying.
No guarantee on clients or work. So I was like, like, why would, like, you're not really selling yourself at all. So
that's on pause.
Yeah, that kind of went. Meh. And she also made me pick a stage name, and I was really nervous, and I picked Stacy.
That's really random.
Like, why Stacy? I don't know.
You're thinking like S&S, you know?
Yeah. And then my mom was excited. She's like, oh, I'm Stacy's mom now. I was like, shut up. No, you're not. And she's like, why'd you have to pick the whitest name ever?
Literally,
and
though.
I was like, I have no idea.
Couldn't your stage name just be Sam?
It could. But she told me, like, basically, because we own Glow Getter, she was, like, trying to tell me that there's, like, workaround, like, I could hire myself, but if it was my name, I couldn't hire myself. Like, there's, like, a runaround, because it's a stage name. But I'm like, it's still the same social, though.
Literally.
I don't
get that, girl.
So whatever. At least I'm not glued to Stacy anymore.
Dude. That is so funny. I also attempted, not necessarily to be I guess.
What do you mean not to be a model?
Well, like, I was gonna say, like, did I really try? Because...
Yeah, you did.
Well, anyway,
A little.
this is like not to say that I think like I'm hot shit or anything. Obviously, I don't think we each think we're like
That
hot
of
shit.
ourselves.
But I think for me, I've had like other people try to like push me to like do this. And I mean, it's not something that I don't want for myself. It's just more so like...
It's not really what you see.
It's just like the self-doubt, I guess. I'm just like, I don't really see how I look different or like unique enough or whatever the fuck. Anyway,
Interesting.
so I attempted to do modeling at one point. I feel like I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but I like sent out my digital or like my, not digitals because it wasn't real digital, just like photos of myself, I guess. Portfolio stuff to this agency. That was like all about like finding where you fit in like the modeling world, kind of like more of like a coaching kind of type place.
That's nice.
And I was like, oh my God, that sounds great. So I sent them over, got like a call back, and it was like a phone call kind of video type callback. And I don't think I did the video, but I think I just did the phone call. And I don't know, she basically told me I had to lose 10 pounds and that I don't really fit as like which I don't think I'm like
you said, girl, we're supposed to figure out where I fit. Literally. And then you told me
So I told her I was living in Seattle at the time, which I was. And then she told me I needed to lose 10 pounds and that she also doesn't really see me fitting in the market in Seattle. And I would be more of like an LA person, but I would still need to lose weight.
Dude.
That's just a whole other thing. Not like, I mean, I don't expect the modeling world to be like fucking rainbows and butterflies because it's clearly not. It was just like a very shocking,
very discouraging
thing to experience. And I feel like I also felt like I was at my very small point at that point.
Like losing 10 pounds, I'd be ill.
Yeah, I remember calling my mom. Again, calling my mom when I feel like a failure.
No.
And she was just like, what, do they want you to be like fucking bones? Like,
for real,
what do they
though,
want
she
from you?
clearly did.
I was like, I guess so.
You should have fucking been like, oh, so you want me to be unhealthy and have an eating disorder?
The way that she asked
said.
me was just so interesting. She was just like, do you think you're at your like fittest? And I was like, I guess not. Like, I guess I can like be more active, because I was like, I'm not necessarily working out every day, but I'm going to like some yoga classes. I walk a lot.
You're like, if this was my job, I guess I would be dedicating more to being,
because clearly like my tool is my body, I guess. But like, and then I guess that gave her like the okay to be like, yeah, because I think you should lose 10 pounds. And I was like, oh, cool.
Like, also so specific.
Yeah, why 10 pounds? It's just so interesting. You don't even know
like
how much I weigh.
The modeling industry, or like maybe a lot of jobs, but modeling industry specifically is like therapy, in the way where you're like, not actually like therapy, but like in the way where you're like, you go to the first one and it's not a fit,
right?
And then you gotta just keep looking for the right agency or whatever.
Yeah, maybe,
because that was not it.
That was not
it. So.
And I feel like now I just have like a fear of doing it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm like fit for this type of world of getting degraded so often. But I'm also like, I don't think I care enough. Like when she told me that, it was like discouraging, I guess, but I wasn't like hating on my body. Now. I wasn't like, I need to lose 10 pounds actually. It was just more like ridiculous to me, I guess, like, and that's what makes me feel like I could do it. But I was just like, I don't really want to be having that conversation again with somebody, of them telling me that I'm fat, basically.
Yeah.
But like, Sam helped me take more photos this like last month, I guess, or maybe 2 months ago.
Girl, I don't even know when that was.
It was a while ago. Still haven't sent them out.
Oh,
so.
You haven't?
No. That's from fears, doubts, and dreams, right?
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes.
That's why I did hand modeling. I was like,
you
listen.
said you can judge my hands.
Judge my hands all you fucking want. You tell me they're ugly, I really don't care. I really don't care if you think my hands are ugly. But she was telling me my hands were so pretty and shit. I was like, oh my god. But then I signed up for body doubling too. Like their agency did like everything. And I was like, who the fuck am I gonna body double for? Who the fuck looks like looks like me? Just kidding. Just kidding. But like, it's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous, dude.
Anyway. Well, yeah, so modeling,
we'll see where that goes.
We'll see if we ever dip our toes back in. Other things, Happy Sucky.
If y'all remember Happy Sucky, R.I.P.
R.I.P. baby. It was such a good time.
That's a Patreon story. If we had one. But a lot of things happened. It just wasn't a fit. It didn't work out. we were really excited, had a lot of hopes and dreams about it.
That's the thing. We had no fear.
There was no fear there, honestly. I think
no fear.
If anything, we were really excited, and I really still believe we could have like taken that really far.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of shitty to see that it went nowhere and nothing happened to it, the name or the type of product that we were trying to create. That
was a good one.
And I mean, we've been attempting to create like a candle business, which I feel like I've come across so many people now that just like came out with a candle business like out of the blue. Apparently the market's supposed to like blow up, but
we knew that,
and we knew that before we even started. And then when we were like, oh, that's fucking perfect. But I've been just seeing like a lot of people that are like friends of friends or whatever start businesses, candle businesses, and I'm just like, that's so wild that you're just like,
you know,
here's
what
a cent, you know?
the thing is with like the fear and doubts, I feel like it's mostly from like, I could do so much, but what is actually gonna work?
Yeah.
Not that like I have so many skills and so many things, but it's like I'm interested in so many different things. Which one's the one I'm supposed to pursue?
I have, yeah, I think me and you're so similar in that way, and I don't know if everyone feels that way, because I feel like some people, and I think that that's what's so discouraging too, is like I feel some people just have like this one thing that they're so passionate about, and that's what they want to do, like being a doctor or like being a lawyer, just like things that feel so concrete. And I feel like we have all of these like
things
ideas and things flying that we're like, okay, if I grab this one and I try it out, like I'm always like, I guess, fearful that it's not going to be fulfilling because I have all of these other things. And I'm sure like other people want different parts of their lives at different times of their lives to happen. But I think what keeps me away from doing it is just like that there's so many and it feels overwhelming. Not to be like, I can do anything, but literally, you know, that's how it feels like.
Speaking of like a fear holding you back from doing things and feeling like you can do so many things, we've been watching Love Island like crazy, and you guys keep trying to get me to go on for the past like 3 years. And I'm like, that would be like so much fun, but like the fear of being on a TV show mortifies me. Also, the US is not as interesting.
Okay, make it interesting.
I'm like, hey, UK, y'all want
Miss American?
Miss America! Not Miss America.
But I feel like there's still like enough people watching and enough like interest in it. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's only 3 seasons in versus like fucking the UK one is so many seasons in. It's not even 9, I don't think. It's like much more than that.
Well,
or maybe it is 9 now.
Like, aside from Love Island, there's also Below Deck that I've been watching.
Not Below Deck, bitch.
And like, I barely started watching this fucking show, but it's so interesting. I said, the drama I'm here for, and I would thrive like doing the actual job, being a stew. Have you seen them?
It's like on a cruise line, right?
Not a cruise line, but a yacht. It's called yachting, but it's not that kind of yachting.
Yachting.
It's just like working a yacht and taking care of like charters, so like people who rent it for.
So is this show like the premise is just kind of like Vanderpump,
it's following the yacht,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
it's following the one crew. And, like,
what
stews that come in and out and, like, hooking up and, like, the guests being really great or, like, being assholes. And I'm like, it's just, like, it's giving Thrive. Like, I would be thriving in this.
I think that's fun. But I like...
But I'm also, like...
Can you fulfill my dream, bitch? Like...
You know, and the thing is, also, they give fat tips. One of them was a $3,000 tip for 3 days of work.
Do they actually get to keep it?
I'm sure they better. They seem really excited when they get them, so it'd be fucked up if they took them away.
Yeah.
But like being this age, like, oh yeah, but I have no stew experience, so I doubt they'd hire me for the fucking show. You know.
Who knows? Just try, attempt.
Like,
what do they say? No.
I've been on a boat.
I've been on one boat.
No, I feel like that's the other flip side of these fears, doubts, and dreams. It's like, am I one day going to be like, why didn't I just fucking go for it? Like, why didn't I just do that?
No,
one
literally
thing?
though. That's literally going to be you at 40. Like, I had the time to do it and I didn't do it.
Ew.
And let's say you go and do it and you didn't like it, whatever. You didn't fucking like it. You could say you did it though.
That's
you don't have the regret of like not doing it.
That was me on Instagram. Someone said they were looking for models in LA and I just put you and me down. I was like,
me?
Okay. Yeah, you.
Why'd you put me down?
I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was Voight.
Oh.
It was I was like, that would be really fun.
Okay.
I was like, can we control the poses though? Look,
don't
babe,
tell me how to pose, girl.
Don't be telling me that looks good. I know my ass is gonna look.
Put me in front of me, please. I need a mirror.
I said, you're asking for girlies in LA. You're not asking for models, okay? So let me do what I want. You're
Just letting you know.
We're standing in front of each other with mirrors, like, anyways. But and like, even jobs that I'm like, am I really that qualified? Or like, or whatever. I'm like, just fucking do it. And then it's a problem if it's a problem. Like, if they're like, hey, we want to interview, I'm like,
listen, I think I could do it. It's up to you to let me know.
Listen, maybe. But yeah, I feel like I kind of like the year of 25. I kind of want more so to be like, I know we're halfway through, but like more.
Like mine ends next
year
month.
ends next month, but it's okay. 26 too. 26 too is just
Listen,
the years.
I think at 26, I'm just gonna go in feeling like, so what?
It's the era of
It's
like,
so
we're just
what?
doing it. We're
Literally.
just doing it. I'm like, Liv is 28 on Love Island.
She's good. She's thriving.
And she
Actually, she got kicked off, but she's thriving.
Anyways, we're gonna talk about Love Island and Glowing Hour though.
Yep.
So, good thing we brought it up. Oh, there was one last thing. Well, I mean, all the other things we failed at, but you guys are not failed, but are trying.
We're trying. Obviously, we have this podcast. It's a ongoing, growing thing for us. Not something I'm like thinking that we failed at. It's just something we have fun with, and I don't really care to think about it any other way.
I don't have fears or doubts either. Like, it's just
It just is.
doing.
I don't know if I'm ready to talk about GGC, but there's a lot of iterations that we've gone through with Glow Getter Collective.
Yeah. I think it's just like a lot of discouraging conversations,
Yeah.
which like I feel like we have persevered through all of these like hurdles and like the great things of GGC and the bad things of GGC. If you guys don't know, we have a company called Glow Getter Collective, and we've gone through many iterations, but essentially we do content for social media.
Yeah.
If we're going to wrap it up in a little bow, that's what we do. And it's just a lot of discouraging conversations of people saying no, which we know that's part of it. Mm-hmm. It's just like, when the fuck is someone going to say yes?
Yeah.
Which, like, people have said yes, but then they took advantage of us, so.
And that's like the other awful part.
I was telling my mom about the person that recently reached back out.
What did she say?
And she was like, you should have charged him for it.
Literally.
Like, Susanna, why didn't I ask you first?
Listen, this is why we're dumb.
This is why we're stupid.
This is why we got fears, doubts, and a little bit of dreams.
It's just like, literally though, should have been like, give me $1,000.
Why didn't I think of that?
Nobody did. Not one brain cell up here was thinking.
And maybe I'm just like not fit to
we're just nice people. I want to be treated right.
I think we also like give too many like benefit of the doubt of like, if we give you this for, you know, not necessarily what we're worth, you will be nice and come back. Mm-hmm. No, you'll just take advantage of us, and then that's it.
And maybe that's the lesson that we've officially learned today.
Yeah.
Just being a little more of a fucking hard ass.
I think I'm also just like at the point where I don't trust men in business. I don't want to do business with men usually. I feel like we have had one male who was very kind.
Very cool.
And I appreciate him and his coffee company. If you're listening.
Love you.
Love you. You were great. But like I think men just walk different in business because they think they're
also I'll say Mr. Coffee, sweetheart, and he was doing it by himself.
He felt the grind that we were feeling.
He felt the grind, so that's why he was cool.
Yeah.
The other guy was like, I'm already successful. I'm just fucking...
Here's my money, throwing at it. Anyway.
But didn't actually.
Anyway.
Didn't actually throw it at us. Anyway.
But anyway, GGC is like a longer conversation if y'all want to hear about it.
And we're still working through it.
I
have a blog, for those of you who don't know. This is another thing that I've been doing for like, since 2017. I don't know how long that is. 9 years?
9?
Am I doing math right? 3
18?
is 2020.
Oh, 18, 19.
Oh, 6.
20. Yeah, I was going to say 6.
9.
I was like, damn, bitch.
Like, fuck.
6 years is a long time, though.
6 years is still a really long time. That's how long my longest relationship was. So it's about to surpass that. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just doing it. I think I've shifted that as well. Like, in what it is. What it do.
I think also we went into a lot of these things with so much pressure and expectations, and I think now we've kind of just released what those things feel or are to us, and now we're just like, you know what, whatever works out.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna chuck along. do what I gotta do, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with my blog.
Period.
So that's all I really care about. Last thing, the Poosh article that we are going to link below is referencing why you should basically write down your fears. Every morning is this man's suggestion. His name is Michael Chernow. He's a habit expert, coach, and serial entrepreneur. Basically, he says, like, by writing it down every morning, for one, you're kind of releasing it and acknowledging it exists.
Kind of like journaling.
Yes. And then also he said it's really nice that, like, looking back on his journals from over the years, he's like, wow, like, these fears never came true.
Right.
So, like, that's the big whoop.
That reminds me of, like, when every time I had a nightmare, I would tell my mom about it, because she would be like, you need to say it out loud so it doesn't come true. Which, like,
but then
put some fucking weird superstition on me where I didn't say it. But, like, I think there's some power to that where, like, if you...
It takes its power away.
Yeah.
Because now it's not just
not just in your head, kind of just brewing.
Maybe that's why you can't share your wishes when you blow out your candles, because you're brewing on it.
Oh. Like manifesting.
So if you tell someone your wish,
it's
not going to come true because you let it go.
Interesting.
Hey, who knows? I ain't gonna be telling my birthday wishes and definitely telling my nightmares now.
Yep.
Interesting concept. So we thought we'd share it. I don't know that I'm gonna rush to start writing down my fears, but I think it'd be nice.
Maybe not like every night. I feel like every day. That's kind of...
Maybe just as they come.
As they come. Write them down. Write why they scare you. What's going on there.
I feel like it'd also just be so simple. Like obviously they can be detrimental. Like, I'm afraid my purpose will never come to light. You know, deep, sad. It could also be like, I'm afraid my birthday's gonna suck or something. I don't know. I just picked something random. But, like, what else are people, like, randomly scared of? I'm scared the dishes aren't clean this morning.
I was gonna say I'm scared. I feel like, okay, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I feel like a lot of people in our age group fear of, like, never finding love or you know, and I feel like that's kind of like
the exciting part, or
but also, like, not true. Like, it happens to most people.
Could be true though,
but most likely not. You get what I'm saying?
Like, if you're looking for it, you're probably okay.
Yeah. So it's just like
scary.
I mean, that one's kind of deep.
You said that one. It's not really.
Or like this. I'm scared that this date is gonna go really bad.
Right. I'm scared this interview is gonna suck.
Yeah. Why?
I'm scared I'm not gonna accomplish this task.
Yeah. So I think maybe we'll start that, and let us know what you think about it. If you're going to also write down and let go of these situations. So let us know what you think.
You don't have to share your fears, but maybe share your thoughts on fears and dreams. Do you feel like you have, like, come to a place where you've just accepted fear as a part of life? Do you feel like you live most days in fear of something, or fear from? Is fear from a thing?
Yeah, fear from, or I think they both work.
Anyways, but yeah, let us know your thoughts. Would love to start a conversation about fear, even though, like, going into this episode I was like, man, this sounds like a heavy
topic,
like, figuring out my life, ew. But then you just gotta move it with gratitude of being like, whatever you do have, reminding yourself that one day you will figure it out. Because I often also the great thing about having older siblings is like, oh yeah, I remember when you were fucking up. Look at you now.
Look at you now, though.
Look at you now.
You're doing things in life.
You got a whole family in a house.
Yeah.
Look at that go. Love you. So, yeah. Let us know your thoughts on fear. As always, leave a review if you can on whatever platform you're listening to. I just added us to Amazon Music. Apparently, they have a podcast platform now.
Oh.
So, if that's your jam, welcome.
Welcome.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in Glowing Hour later this week.
See you then.
Bye.